Hey guys, I'm back at it with another video, and this is another video from Camfree15, and I'm back again with, like I said, another video for you guys, and it is another anime review on another anime I got into. Now, if you watch my Dr. Stone review, I talked a little bit about Fire Force and how I got into it, or how I was watching it and how I was going to do a review on it. And now I have finished all 24 episodes of Fire Force, and now I'm here to talk about it. Um, I think how I'm gonna do Fire Force, because Fire Force is actually like a series where there is a lot to talk about because of certain spoilers, but I think I'll talk mild spoilers in the back half of this video while I talk a little bit about non-spoilerly stuff. But basically, here we go with basically the summary of the plot. The summary of the plot is a boy named Sharana, and where he has these feet with like crazy powers, and basically he has to work with Company 8 to basically find and achieve the goal of really making sure he keeps the promise of, his mother and his deceased mother and his deceased brother, and really going and finding how, spontaneous combustions happen, and how him and Company 8 can stop the spontaneous combustions from happening, as well as stop, the group who is causing spontaneous combustions. Other than that, that's really just a general summary of it. The tiny end is a little bit of a certain type of spoiler, but it's whatever. Um, but Fire Force, my thoughts. Fire Force. I thought it was a really good anime actually when you watch it. Fire Force again is one of those animes, like I said in my Dr. Stone review, on the last video, is I can see why Dr. Stone is an anime where people, fall in love with after a few episodes and started to genuinely like, and have had fun watching. I'm not Dr. Stone. Fire Force was, an interesting anime. I saw it on the block when it first came out. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. After a while, I gave it some time. After watching Doctor Stone, I'm like, you know what? I like this. I like this. And Fire Force is a very good anime as well because of the, like I said, character moments, and the fight scenes are like really beautiful, and they're choreographed really nicely. Just the fight scenes are really cool. Also, I did watch the English dub because, I like listening to English, voice actors, or really the English dub before I watch the subbed on certain animes, depending which comes out first. So, I watched the English dub. I thought the English dub, it was a good dub. There are some issues here and there, but the dub was pretty efficient. And, I like the voices. All the voices are, entertaining and funny. And, they were really great. And I actually got some of the cast up. And Derek Snow as Shirina, um, he did a great job in the role. You know, the voice acting at first, when you hear the first English dub voice actor for him, it's not, it's not what you expect. But Derek Snow did a pretty good job as the main lead of, the show, playing Shinra, basically Kusabe. And I thought he did a phenomenal job in all the speaking scenes he did. um there's other notable voice actors like Alexis Tipton, who plays Iris. Caitlin Glass is in this. I think she plays the girl with the crown or whatever. Colleen Clinkenbeard is in this. I'm actually like one of her. I'm, a huge fan of her work, and she does, because I like her voice acts from, Luffy to G's, Momo, and now she's here as Habana. And I thought Colleen Clinkenbeard literally was Colleen Clinkenbeard was funny as Princess Habana. She literally made my day every time she came on screen, and just hearing Colleen Clinkenbeard's voice, it was just funny to see that. Eric Vale as Arthur Boyle. I had a blast with Eric Vale. Eric Vale is honestly one of the best English dub voice actors. And even if you do hate Funimation and stuff like that, you still got to give the people who do these dubbings credits where credits due. Um, like I said, Eric Vale just knows how to make a really good, voice. At first, when I heard Arthur, I was like, this sounds a little bit like Eric Vale. And then, like, it is Eric Vale. And he does a phenomenal job. So somehow Colleen and Eric Vale see this video, congrats on you guys, because I thought you guys are great voice actors in the roles you guys do. Um, you know, I literally feel like Eric Vale's interpretation of Arthur was a little bit of, that Sanji kicking in. That Sanji little character kicking in. There were many other voice actors. Ian Sinclair, he was in this. You know, Sonny Strait. I actually didn't know Sonny Strait was actually Joker in the show, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. He really changed his voice. Like he made it a deeper voice for Joker. Um, Also Justin Briner, who plays Show. I thought he did a good job. Now, yes, that's a little bit of a spoiler I just teased there, but okay. But I thought he did a good job as Show, which when I first heard him, I'm like, that sounds like Justin Briner because I'm like, it sounds like Deku. And then like, oh no, it is. And so, I thought Justin Briner did a phenomenal job. I'll talk more about in my spoiler review on what I liked as his acting at Show. But the English dub voice cast, I thought they all did phenomenal. Um, you know, I thought they all did phenomenal. I forgot. I think it was the lieutenant in company. I think he's voice actor by the same voice actor who does Aizawa. I don't know if it isn't. You can correct me guys in the comment section. But I thought he did a great job, and he literally acted like he was Aizawa in this too. It was funny, but anyways, I'm gonna get to the main, talking point of Fire Force for the non-spoiler people. If you want to check out the series, um, Fire Force is a really good anime, because it has its nice, funny, comedic moments at sometimes, but at the same time can have those really dark moments. Um, I also will say Fire Force is an anime where you don't want to show your kids this. And I highly say you probably don't want to see this as a junior high schooler, but high schooler up to like, adult level stuff, you should see this series because this series is really good. Now, the reason why I say the younger generations to not see this show is they do a little bit of like, they do have a little bit of really dark moments like, abusive relationships and this stuff in this show. Um, and as well as they have a lot of, innuendos pertaining to, girls' body parts and stuff like that. So that's something you don't want to show your kids. So obviously don't show your kids that stuff because they don't need to see that stuff. But other than that, I thought everything was good. The story at first was, when I was watching, I'm like, there's really no story. It's just Shirana is just joining the Fire Force 8 and just stopping Infernals. But when you really get the main story and what this story is about, that's when Fire Force can indirectly fall in love with you because the story is so like it's a pretty good story. Like it's one of the greater anime stories, especially for season one of the anime. Um, it had really amazing plot twist, like literally plot twist. Almost every, almost every like couple of episodes, there was like a new certain plot twist, and when they revealed certain things that are revealed, you're just thrown for a loop, and you're like, what is there to think now? And it's just insane to think that all these plot twists are like just incorporated to one storyline. um I thought the story was good. It's one of the better anime stories, especially when they focus directly on the story, when there really isn't, like, the first couple of episodes. I would say like the first 4 to 5 episodes, there was a little bit of a side plot until you finally get the main and goal. It kind of just the story just kind of follows that main goal, and stuff like that. Now there are certain side plots, but they also tie in to the story, like the Vulcan thing. When you finally get the revelations of the Vulcan thing in that little mini arc, um, it ties into the story beautifully and stuff like that. I thought the characters for the most part were entertaining. I liked all the characters, especially all the characters in Company 8, because they all, like most anime main cast members on the team, from the openings they give, you know, it it makes you feel like, they're one big family, like Dragon Ball. Goku and the gang are just one big happy family. Dr. Stone, I think I mentioned this in my Dr. Stone review. Senku with Kohaku, Chrome, and the other people in the village, they feel like one big happy family. You know, this the Fire Force crew, of um they feel like one big, happy family. And the comedic moments from Arthur and Shinra fighting each other, to the comedic moments of Maki always getting basically shown up by the lieutenant, on of the lieutenant telling her, don't play with your fire. Tamaki's moments, we know Tamaki's moments in this show, if you have seen the show. um, you know, just funny moments, and I think that's what I like. They have the dark moments in the show, but as well as of every now and then when there's down lows, they do have the comedic moments to basically turn out to basically even out the dark tone of the show. And I guess the last thing I gotta say before I get into mild spoilers about this show, this is honestly is one of the darkest animes I have ever watched. If not maybe the darkest anime. My Hero Academia season 4, that's the darkest My Hero Academia's gotten to this point. And Fire Force, the moment you get all these revelations, it gets dark, like really dark, to the point it flips upside down. I'll talk about some of the dark moments in my non-spoiler or in my spoiler review a bit. Well, mild spoilers, but the dark moments if you've seen it, and it's crazy to see how dark this anime gets. To honestly make it to the point, it's like now I can see why this is a mature series. I'm like, yikes, you know. Out of all the anime series, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has gone dark a few times, like the Demon King Piccolo arc. Goku Black is the most recent, arc that has been dark. Um, you know, Doctor Stone, that's more of a lighthearted show. It does have a few dark moments, but not too much. Pokemon. Uh, Pokemon, it has some dark moments here and there throughout the anime, but really in the games they kind of have more dark moments. You know, My Hero Academia, dark moments in terms of season 4, especially these past 2 episodes, were really dark and stuff like that. You know, Fire Force is one of the more darker animes, which I do say you probably should be, like, literally. I wouldn't say not watching it, but I can see why kids shouldn't watch it, because there's some, like, actually, like, you know um how would you say, religious things in a way that kind of tie into this. So if, like, and that's why I'll say, if you're a very religious person, this might not be the anime for you, especially if you're very religious. They do have some religious themes in this, because they do have nuns, and there is praying in this anime, as well as, you know, some things pertaining to like demons and stuff like that. So if you're not into that stuff because you're a very religious person, or you're just not into that stuff in general, I'd request you don't watch it. That's just me saying that because I don't want you guys to get in trouble, obviously, with your family. Um, um, Say if you're just an adult and you just want to check it out, and or you don't want to check it out, I would say, you know, give it a chance. But if you're just, you know, obviously a very religious person, or, you know, other reasons mentioned, I probably would not watch this anime, because the anime is really dark and it has a lot of, you know, religious, you know, things said. But other than that, it's a really good anime. I guess for the non spoiler, it's gonna still be the same in the mild spoilers, but the non spoilers, my ranking on this, it's, I would say, an 8 out of 10. Fire Force does start out slow until like I think around the fourth episode. By the time you get to the fifth episode, that's when things, quote unquote, start turning up the heat, and, you know, they turn fire, no pun intended. And it really gets going. So obviously, you know, it's a good way to start out. Now, I'm gonna get a little bit into my mild spoilers, not a lot. So if you guys are still on here and you haven't seen Fire Force, I highly suggest click off the series. And if you're interested, go watch it, because the entire season one is out now, whether you see it English dub or subbed, on Crunchyroll. Now for the English dub, you're gonna have to have a Funimation, you know, premium account to at least see the English dub episodes if you're thinking about that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to probably go to Crunchyroll and watch it all subbed, and you don't need a premium account to watch. Now Crunchyroll, you can have a free account, but just saying, for Funimation, you know, if you want to see the English dub, you're gonna have to sub. You're gonna have to have a premium account subscription, which personally sucks, but it is what it is. Otherwise, I guess you watch it off Adult Swim on Toonami. They have a few episodes on the Adult Swim app. If you have a TV provider, you can still watch, I think, the first 13 around. It's around 13 or 15 episodes. Otherwise, it's currently airing on, Toonami on Cartoon Network. Late hours. I think it airs at 1 in the morning. So unless you record that show or something, yeah, there's nothing else I have to say. Um, Other than that, I'm gonna get into the mild spoilers. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit mild spoilers. One comes to mind, the revelation that Sho was still alive, as well as the mom is technically still alive, even though she is still in the infernal state. I do like the fact that, Burns basically told, Shinra, like, look, your brother was the one that caused the fire all along, which goes to show, like, well, dang, it wasn't just some random person. It was, him that, not only unlocked his powers, but it was Show that started the fire, and then the mom, went infernal, and then, things escalated. And it also goes to show that the evangelist started this thing way back then, just to get their goal of having the Abdullah burst. I think the evangelists, when they were revealed, were very, and I mean very, threatening villains, because my goodness, those guys were some of the most threatening villains, crazy. And they're basically essentially a cult. If you played any cult, if you ever seen any cult related, shows, or even, like, say you played Far Cry 5, you know that there was a crazy religious cult. And the fact that this cult is basically going along turning people forcibly into infernals, it was insane. Like, the moment you had to deal with the Rekka issue, that took the story to a whole nother level. Like, yes, the Hibana stuff, until she later turned good. Um, you know, um, that was how far, but when you got to the Rekka, that's when it got dark, because, and this is the crazy thing that I saw a trend with. Three of the different moments of this series, there was three different people, well, slightly, but there was three different people that were kind of abused a bit. Iris, to an extent, because she tried to talk to, Habana, but Habana was kind of like going through a active crazy state at the moment, but she later turned good. Um, Vulcan and Lisa, which was the second. No, actually, the second one was Tamaki and Rekka. That was insane because that took it to a whole nother level because, he abused her and, well, in that one scene, but he basically took her feelings and he used them. And then I guess the most common one, which, shows the darkness of the show, is how, basically the crazy doctor with the beak. I forgot his name too. Um, but how he abused Lisa, and that was an emotional moment, especially when you saw the battle of Obi and Vulcan versus Lisa and the doctor. When you find out the truth that this doctor was basically picked her off the street and basically abused her to make her do what as he says, otherwise he's gonna like threaten to kill her. It was really, really, crazy. And you could see by the time that, plot point is resolved, you can see why, Lisa was emotionally distraught and she is like going through, some mode of her. Um, you know, I don't know if season two is going to turn out. Season two is announced for the summertime, from what it's looking like. I don't know if Lisa will be a part of the Company 8 Fire Force. I have a feeling like when she gets her act together and she gets her mind right, obviously she's going to be somewhat of Vulcan's little boyfriend because I did find it interesting how in a few times in that fight, before that fight even started, Vulcan did mention how, nice she looked. And I was like, wait, is this like his girlfriend or something when they first met? Now it kind of shows that Vulcan does love her and he does care about her, so obviously they're kind of a hooked up couple. But I feel like she would join the Company 8. You know, um but these like moments get so dark. The show versus Shirna fight, that was an emotional fight. It was a really good fight too, because basically Show has the powers of Hit. Basically, essentially, he's the powers of Hit and Goldo fused into one. Even though technically their powers are the exact same, but that fight was really good. One of the best fights I think in anime in general. There and this is the one thing about Fire Force. It has a lot of good fight moments. Whether well the Shinra versus Habana scene fight was a little bit of a letdown. Not as epic as I thought. Like the Rekka versus Shinra. Show versus Shinra. Um, and I even thought Burns versus Shinra in the last episode was a really good fight. Um, you know, sh- it's crazy. Another thing that's crazy, you know, I thought it was insane how like corrupt the Fire Force system is, and what I mean by that is literally the fact that almost half the company, captains are legit corrupt to the point that they're working for the evangelist. You know, it's like, well, then what's even the point of this thing? You might need to just interview everybody to see if they're not corrupt or anything. But then again, that goes to show, how corrupt governments can be. There are corrupt governments even here. There are corrupt governments around. The only really one that was corrupt to change was Habana. Um, but Habana kind of turned into a toned down Boa Hancock. If you ask me, Habana is basically a toned down Boa Hancock, really. And I found it funny because, Colleen Klinkenbeard, who does Habana in the show, she she plays a main character in One Piece who has basically Boa dripping all over him, just dreaming about marrying him and stuff like that. Habana is basically the Boa Hancock um um to crap. I keep forgetting his name. Shirina, and I it's toned down. They don't go over the board like they do with Boa, but Habana gives subtle hints that she's fallen for Shirina and that she has some kind of crush on him. Um, as a whole, I don't know who Shirina's shipping mate is because typically every main character in a certain anime, sometimes more than likely the case, has like certain shipping people. You know, I would say the person you can probably ship the most with Shirna is probably Tamaki, not because of the moments. Well, yes, because the moments between them, but she does give subtle hints herself that she's into Shirna. Like, for example, the when he asked her, "Could I get your phone number?" and she starts blushing, and then she's like, "Well, I don't know. Why would you want that?" And then she's like, "Oh, you see, okay, maybe I can." And it goes to show. And I think in the last episode, she gives a hint, like, she was worried about what happened to him because Shirna was literally on his deathbed at the last two episodes, and they do mention that she was really worried about him. But the moment he walks in, she's like, looks at him and is like, whatever. But you can tell that she really does care about him and stuff like that. So it goes to show. Other than that, um, those are really some of the spoilers I can talk about. But really, what's leading into season two is obviously, you know, Company 8 basically trying to take down the Evangelist. And, Shinra's main goal is to not only bring back Sho to the group, because he almost had Sho until the very end, until they basically, I guess, mind warped him to stay with them. And, now he's going to see if he can try to save his mother and turn her back to human instead of infernal, because if they can, they might be able to reverse this combustion effect and be able to maybe change people back to their human selves. So, yeah, I'm liking where Fire Force is going. Season 2 is going to be very interesting to see where it goes. Now, I can read the manga. Maybe I'll check out the manga, just the start of season 2 to get a gist of where it's headed. But, you know, um, I thought it was really, really freaking good. And then, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see who. And also, I gotta say this: I wonder who is the evangelist, the main guy under the hood. Who is the guy that's obviously leading these people? Because at first I thought it was Sho. No, he's like just kind of commander and head. But the evangelist, the dude at the hood, he's obviously the main leader. Now, I feel like I feel like it's gonna be some kind of plot twist where it's gonna be somebody we know, and when they reveal it, it's gonna be shocking. It would be crazy to see if it's actually Obi, and that would be insane if it was him. But I don't think it's him. You know, at first I had my suspicions. I thought it was Burns, but after a while, when they showed the whole backstory, it was like, oh, so it isn't Burns. But at this point, you don't know what to expect. Like I said, if it was Obi to be the evangelist, it kind of would somewhat make a little bit of sense. Maybe it's Joker, I don't know. But I don't think Joker's a bad guy. He's kind of more of a neutral person. Um, but the reason why I say it could be Obi is because he doesn't have powers. Well, he doesn't, but he might have powers. He's just hiding them. It's like many antagonists who've shown their face. They didn't show that they didn't have something, but they do. Another thing, and this one, the last few things I want to say is there was a lot of WTF moments, like the Lisa turn, WTF moment. I did not see that. I was like, yikes. Um, Also, where was they? Also, going back to that midnight arc, what happened to the freaking kid in the blue shirt? I forgot his name, but what happened to him? The crazy thing is, they show him in the second opening, and he's never to be seen again after that little arc is over with. And I'm like, he's in the opening for opening number 2, which I thought was Jesus by the literally top 10 openings I've heard. And I was like, where's the kid? He's in the opening, and he's not there. Now, he could make an appearance. We'll see. Um, my predictions is also Lisa joins Company 8 when her mind's right. Obviously, Vulcan is looking after her and is not going to leave her. So obviously, it's looking like season 2 of Doctor Stone. Fire Force is going to be a good one. and I can't wait to see where it's gonna be going. So Shinra and the rest of Company 8 has a lot to learn. So basically, the season ended off, or really the last episode ended off with getting not only these revelations, but basically all the other side characters we see throughout the show come to Company 8's building and basically kind of have throws a big party in Shinra coming back from the hospital, and that's where the season ended off. And it was a good ending. Um, so I can't wait to see more of Fire Force, and I can't wait to see when it comes back, whether it's early summer or later in the summer. So like Doctor Stone, we're just gonna have to wait. Now, if you want to get a head start on those, if you were just an anime only or you just haven't read the manga yet, obviously, you know, obviously check it out and read the manga if you want to go ahead. The same thing goes with My Hero Academia. Like I said, you can now it's not on the Viz Media app. You probably either have to buy it or find it some other way, or buy it online, like off iTunes and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, that's really it. What I gotta say, Fire Force, good anime. So I'm gonna get out of here. It's getting late. So if you like this video, leave a like. Um, you want to hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button to get more content for my anime content, as well as put something in the comment section if you like this anime or not. Um, and what's your thoughts on Fire Force, and if you can't wait for the next season. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. It's Cam315. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.